Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Nick, Sarah's sat over there, our two little dogs are wandering around here somewhere. And welcome back to Portugal, sunny Portugal. Look at this beautiful weather.
Yes, end of November, and to give you an idea of the temperature today, I think is like 17 or 18. It was even hotter for the last couple of days. It's cooled down a little and we are loving it, as you can probably tell. It's the weekend, and as most towns in Portugal have like a curfew at the weekend, as well as in the evenings, they have a curfew from 1 PM until the following morning, Saturday and Sunday. We found this spot away from any towns, away from any people, on our own, kind of isolated, and we're going to stay here for the entire weekend.
We have moved lake, by the way. We're by another beautiful lake. In the end of the last vlog, we're by another beautiful lake, but it's not the same one. We are moving.
We are still going south. So we are coming into central Portugal, if you like. We're leaving the northern parts and coming into central Portugal. We've just entered the region of Castelo Branco.
Yep.
So we're kind of north Castelo Branco and making our way slowly south.
We've got the SUP boards out. We're going to go out on the water in a bit. We've got all our solars out.
Yeah, got our solar panels facing the sun. Can we just say as well, I mean, I think we've mentioned it before, but I mean, if you guys are doing a van build and you're halfway through or whatever, just really bear in mind the winter time, because you know, obviously the sun is so far away. That makes sense in the winter, isn't it? And the difference it makes from having a flat solar panel on your roof like this to one that can tilt towards the sun is just crazy. And we've got two panels as well as the ones on the van that we can angle, and it just makes a huge amount of difference, which is really important, isn't it, for the winter months when you don't get as much sun.
Everyone, because it's easiest, you just put loads of flat panels on the roofs and you don't think
about it.
Which is
brilliant for the summer, totally fine in the summer.
But in the winter, it's insane the amount of difference it makes.
Yeah, the sun's right over here, isn't it? It's not right above. So yeah, I think that's what I would definitely do. So
we are totally set up with these two solar panels we get out. Obviously the ones are on the roof and ours are angled, so that's quite good as well.
Yeah, we've got, I mean, when it's like this, not a cloud in the sky, we've got plenty and we don't have to worry at all. So where exactly are we, love? What's the name of this lake?
I'll let you do that one.
No, you do it.
No, you.
No, you do. It's okay, so it's just north of the town of Adana Anova, and this is actually where they have the annual Boom Festival. Now, if you don't know what a Boom Festival is, well, they don't have it, obviously not at the moment because of COVID, so it wouldn't have been on this summer. I'm pretty sure it was on last summer.
Yeah, probably.
It's on every summer, and apart from when there's a pandemic going on. So if you don't know what a Boom Festival is, it's basically a Duff Festival.
If you don't know what a Duff Festival is, it's basically psychedelic trance.
If you don't know what a psychedelic trance is, then Google it.
So, yeah, crazy, huge festival on the shores here. They have, you know, big tents and stages and stuff, and people camp around here. Awesome location.
Yeah, we haven't been. We've talked about coming here actually because I think it would be a really good place to kind of experience a festival, and we do like a bit of duff music every now and again. So yeah, so we thought we'd come and experience it during a pandemic when there's no festival on, no people, no life, no nothing. So yes, and there's actually land for sale, not right here, but in this whole region actually.
Castelo Branco.
We're thinking about, yeah, maybe that might be an option for the future, but that's a whole nother video, so we won't go down that road now. Anyway,
before we arrived at this location, we did make a little stop off to somewhere we'd researched a little bit. We thought we might as well stop off on the way, but it turned out to be absolutely incredible.
House in the rock, so cool, look.
How cool is this little walk? Talk about the perfect place to take the drone off from. I don't know why that's here. Maybe it is for drone flyers.
This is the remains of the castle, and I mean, you imagine back in the day when that was all completo, you know, the castle set on top of kind of these big boulders. I mean, magical with this, I mean, with this view, and you know, you can see the whole of the surrounding area. Look how cool that is, my love.
Yeah, the views up here are incredible. As far as you can see, basically, it's on a proper sort of cliff top, and a very, very attractive cliff top, isn't it? With all these granite boulders.
It's amazing, isn't it? You can imagine back in the day where everyone was like living in between the rocks, and you know, obviously in the village, and then as you get up to the main, where the famous people who lives in castles, kings and queens. Yeah. But
yeah, it's incredible, all the rocks. So you've got proper little sort of caves. As you can see, as we've been walking up here, you've got people of modern houses built into the caves, but you've just got these huge boulders and then just little sort of
dwellings.
You know, you could easily just put a few stones there, a bit of mud, and you've got yourself a nice little home.
It's pretty incredible, isn't it? Yeah. Let's see if we can get a bit closer.
You know, when you kind of like half do research, you briefly look at places to visit on your route, and found Monsanto, but I thought it was just going to be a little village set in amongst the rocks with a little castle, you know. Visited lots of castles, but this little hike we've done, you know, through these narrow alleyways, it's incredible.
I always think like it's crazy how obviously they get these from the rock that's here, but I think it's crazy how back in the day, how, you know, they shaped these huge rocks to bricks, or whatever you want to call these, to build these castles. I mean, they didn't have like loads of technology and modern equipment, did they? I just always think it's nuts every time I come somewhere like this. I thought this was the dungeon where they throw the naughty people who don't do their chores back in the olden days in the castles, but it's actually the well where they got their water from, and Nick was right and I was wrong.
This castle has got to be one of the most incredible castles we've visited, like not necessarily the actual fortifications, but just the location where it's set. It's just unbelievable. If you're in the area, definitely make a beeline for this place, because it's outstanding.
Monsanto, make sure you come here, definitely.
Absolutely blown away.
Not just the castle though, the town, the incredible little village, would you call it? Village? Just
village.
Wandering around there, getting lost in the little alleyways of, you know, houses like inside the rocks.
Yeah, you've got the village, then
So
you've got
cool.
this incredible rock formation, you've got these views which we're blown away by, and the fortifications are pretty good, don't get me wrong.
We want to spend longer here, but we only thought it'd be a few minutes, and we left the doggies, and now I think, oh God, we better get back to them. Anyway, definitely worth a visit.
There's a little bar there.
Sorry about the extremely low light in this little room that we've just found, but you know, we still haven't got that low light camera. Just this little village, if they didn't have that castle and the views, which is outstanding, just this little village would be worth coming here for. It's crazy.
If it didn't have the little village and it just had the castle and the views, it'd be brilliant.
And if it didn't have the castle and the village, it just had the views, it'd still be really cool.
If it didn't have any of those, it still had the boulders and a slight hill, it'd be awesome.
So we're just going to take a moment to thank today's sponsor of this video, and that is Skillshare.
Yes, now for those of you who don't know what Skillshare is, it's a fantastic online learning community full of thousands of different classes covering a whole range of subjects.
Yes, so you can brush up on existing skills or you can learn a completely new one.
So you may or may not know that we are in the process of making an e-cookbook. So one class we're interested in is a Skillshare original food photography shooting at restaurants by Daniel Krieger. We've taken so many photos in the past, but not that many of food.
We want to make it look as pretty as possible, so having the right photographs of our food is going to be an important aspect of it.
Yeah, and in this course you learn about composition and lighting and arrangement and all these sorts of things, so it's going to be really, really useful.
So guys, if you're interested in learning new skills, as we mentioned, click the link in our description. The first 1,000 people to click on the link get a free premium membership to Skillshare, and then after that it's less than $10 a month.
Less than $10 to learn as many skills as you've got time to do. And in these lockdown times it's a perfect opportunity to just get creative and have fun with it. So the great thing about this lake is it's quite a large area and there's loads of little dirt tracks going off in different directions. We drove round probably a couple of kilometres that way and there's like one van there. That's the only van we've seen, but there's loads of little areas so you can get your own sort of space. And it's so nice for the dogs. The dogs, we've checked out the area, there's no litter, everything's safe, so the dogs can just wander off and they just love being outside. Even Dizzee, when the sun's shining, he's happy to be outside, just sort of standing there soaking up the rays, charging up his batteries, because you know he's a solar dog. Without the sun he's just asleep. So yeah, it's so nice. The dogs can just roam free and we can just relax here, no one around. But we're going to take this opportunity to get on with a few jobs that we've been putting off.
So this is our tiny little garage. I know some people have bigger areas to store their tools and gas bottles, but that's it, that's all we've got. Tiny van, tiny garage. It fits the essentials, so that's the main thing. Now, jobs that we've been putting off. We've got a leak in the van, and obviously we did have a lot of rain about a week ago or more, and we had this leak and we had to like put a little bandage on Vinny inside. Basically it was leaking a lot, and depending on what angle you park is depending where the water runs and drips down. So obviously silicone would fix this. We don't have silicone, but we do have some glue stuff that we're going to try, so we're going to do that today. Also, this has been peeing me off for ages.
Oh, how did that happen?
Oh, I wonder.
Someone must have knocked into us.
Someone must have backed into something, I think it was a wall, and scratched that off. And we've got black paint, so I want to just spray it, just because it's annoying. Also, see these mud guards? This one, since we've had the van, has been hanging funny. It touches the ground. I was thinking we could try and fix it. I was going to take it off completely, but then I'm thinking, well, look how much mud.
That's how it gets its name.
So I don't know, we might just take these off completely if they're too hard to put on. And then we also need to get on the roof and just check our solar panels, because they are kind of taped on. They're sort of bolted as well, but the tape has come off a lot because of the rain. And our bolts have gone quite rusty. And we've just searched the van for about 20 minutes looking for Vaseline, because you know what's really good for bolts or anything, you know, screws, bolts or whatever that are exposed to the weather is Vaseline. So we've always just covered them in Vaseline and it's worked great, but because we've had so much rain and we haven't got any Vaseline with us, they've gone kind of orange and rusty. Maybe we could just use a bit of that oil or something, spray, WD-40 type thing.
We also need to WD-40 a number of the doors as well, because there's a bit of a squeaky, cronky sound. Which
so just little weeny annoying jobs that we've just put off that we need to get done.
All you need is a bit of Gorilla Tape, a little bit of glue and a bit of WD-40 and you can get most things done.
Most things, true. When you've got a van like this, totally true.
Sure Sarah won't mind me using a vest top.
also, guys, another thing that you must have included in your packing the van items or van builds or whatever before you come down here anyway is one of these or some of these for every window. Down here is absolutely crazy for these flies. It's fine when you're outside, you don't really notice them, it's fine to sit out, even eating out here, we haven't had an issue with that. But there's lots of them and they're all trying to get in the van and you don't realise until they're in there. When we first came down here, we left the door open, there was about 30 flies in there and then we had to use one of these.
So we've just been having a look at our solar panels and we're thinking maybe we need to replace the one on the roof, because look how that's how they should look, nice and dark black, not bleached by the sun. Check out the one on the roof. So we've got most of the jobs done and sprayed the bumper, oiled all the doors so there's no more creaks there. Sarah's been up on the roof and she's taped down the back end of the solar panels, so they're sorted. She's Vaselined all the little screws because they'd gone really rusty. We actually found the Vaseline, yeah, the last place we looked, in the back of the tool cupboard. We're not going to do the leaky roof now, we're going to leave that to another time. It's too much hassle and the light is fading pretty quickly. We've got about an hour left of daylight.
And we're not doing our mud guards.
We're not doing our mud guards because we might just get rid of them.
There's too much mud on them to touch them, they're too mucky.
And yeah, we've run out of time because Sarah's just cooked us a lovely little lunch and now she's on to the second meal of the day.
Yeah, we're having like a sweet potato type curry kind of thing. It's kind of all we've got left. We're running our food stores right down and we refuse to go to the supermarkets until after the weekend. So here we are, and this is going to be enough for 2 meals. This is going to be enough for today and tomorrow. Little sweet potatoes, I've got some leftover red peppers, we've got some soy chunks for some extra protein, some cumin, some other curry flavours, some coriander, all sorts. And we're just going to let that settle down and then just put some vegetable stock in there and that'll be our big huge pot of sweet potato curry.
Which is so nice because although it's quite warm during the day, at night the temperature drops, especially when it's completely clear skies. So it does get a little bit fresh, and we have run out of diesel for the diesel heater. So yeah, we do need to move on after the weekend. But for now, we're going to be well fed.
It's going to be hot curry and thermals tonight, I think.
So guys, I think we're going to call it a day. Sarah's just going to finish cooking that. We're going to have to leave the supboard in until tomorrow, and maybe in the next vlog we might go and explore that island over there.
So we just haven't had time. We've been working, we've been editing, we've been filming this vlog.
All sorts.
But it has been a really nice day, and tomorrow's forecast a good day as well. So we'll get them out tomorrow.
And making the most of every day because quite soon we're probably heading back down to Andalusia.
Yeah, which means ultimately down to our house. It's just not a good time to travel, is it? You know, we have got the van, so we have the freedom to be able to travel and explore and share our adventures with you guys. If we can't travel, which is kind of a bit like you can't, I mean, we have been obviously, but we are constantly on our way to our house kind of thing. We're in the right direction.
Well, basically in Portugal it's not too bad. You've got these curfews in quite a lot of towns now. So in Portugal, you're still allowed to travel around, even though we still feel a bit funny.
And then obviously in Andalusia, the actual towns, everyone at this moment is locked down to their towns.
Yeah, Andalusia, I think, from what I've last heard, was probably the strictest province or autonomous community in the whole of Spain.
Yeah.
So people, yeah, locked down.
You can't leave your town or your city or wherever you're from. So to travel around in Andalusia, I just think that's a no-go, because if the local people aren't allowed to leave their town, it doesn't seem fair that you would be travelling around from town to town in a camper van.
So our plan, as the failed trip to the UK happened, we've been slowly making our way down through Portugal, which isn't too bad, but once we cross into Andalusia, I think we're just going to make a beeline for the house because of these restrictions.
We'll have to anyway. We'll get told to go there, and like we said, we don't want to do it if other people like.
I really don't want to, because especially we're enjoying days like this, and once we go back, we could be locked down.
Yeah, I mean it's very tough, because obviously we could just stay in Portugal for I don't know till Christmas or past Christmas and carry on just living like this. I mean, I think more restrictions will come here, and it will be more difficult to do that. So there's more reasons we need to go back to the house. We need to order things like our laptop, which we do all of the editing on, is making a really bad noise.
It has worked so hard, let me tell you. 3 years, it's made like 300 videos or something.
Yeah, and we're really worried it's going to just go kaput.
And
So
that'll be it,
and we've been meaning to get a new one anyways, so we need to go back and we need to order that. The doggies need to do some things at the vets, their rabies is coming up, plus we need to do all the things that we have to do post-Brexit for the dogs, which is like a blood test.
In preparation for the UK
and we want to
trip
be
next
with
year.
our vet in the village to do that.
And also, I don't know whether you've noticed, if you know a difference in the drone, because about a week ago or 2 weeks ago, the Mavic, we just couldn't use it anymore, so we've been using the Spark. So the Mavic, there's been an issue with the gimbal, it's been vibrating, abnormal vibration, there's no issues we can see.
But it does need sending off and being repaired. But obviously it's going to be so much easier to do all this when we're in our house, isn't it? And we can get stuff sent back and receive stuff and send stuff. And we are hoping that Andalusia's restrictions are going to lift quite soon and you're going to be able to travel at least around the province again, so we can do trips away.
Because there's so much going on in Andalusia.
Yes, so all that being said, do not worry, even when we do get back to the house, we'll continue to put out our vlogs every few days as always. Don't know what we're going to be vlogging about.
Oh, there'll be loads of stuff. Yeah, any suggestions, just drop them in the comments.
Yeah, any suggestions of video ideas that we could do when we're locked in a house.
The tent will be back on the roof, by the way.
Anything you want us to talk about, just let us know and we'll see what we can do. But hopefully we won't be locked back in the house. Hopefully
Anyway, darling, it's not Waffle Wednesday today.
It's not Waffle Wednesday.
So let's end this vlog.
Thank you so much for watching, everyone.
Hope you've enjoyed this video.
And we're not going home just yet, so we will see you.
We'll
still
soon.
be on the road very soon in Portugal. Bye for now.
Bye.